And we're back. I guess my internet dropped
Uh,
for 2/10 of a second and everything shut off. But we're back.
Dude, so many technical difficulties when it comes to this show.
Dude,
Um,
it was storming all night last night, and I was so shocked
oh,
that
dude, my cable was in and out like fucking crazy. So I ended up watching a documentary on Punky Brewster.
yeah.
But anyway, do you know who that is?
Who? You
Punky
said
Brewster?
Punky Brewster? No.
Yeah. It was a show from the 80s. And her name's I think Solio Moon. It was the actress, and basically she the documentary is pretty cool because she actually took a camera everywhere she went, and this was like I said, the 80s and 90s, and people obviously didn't have cameras at their disposal like that, and
Mm-hmm.
she documented a lot of cool shit. So, but anyway, Dennis Rodman,
Mm-hmm.
his finisher is gonna be an elbow off the top rope.
Like a Macho
We'll
Man one?
call, huh?
Like a Macho Man elbow off the top
The
rope?
Macho Man one. Yep, yep. And he hits you with the elbow, and we'll call it, I don't know, the rebound or the worm or something. I don't know.
I,
But he's coming off the top rope with an elbow.
I just got a mean message in the chat said that I had a Dollar Tree Wi-Fi. That was very rude.
That is rude.
I'm saying.
I mean, hey, where everything's a dollar. I don't think that's the slogan anymore because everything's not a dollar there. But anyway,
Yeah, it all kind of works out. Not to stay in the realm of NBA. I don't. It's funny because you brought up Dennis Rodman, and I was thinking, I was listening to your, your spiel. How would they get the like morph suits to do like the height difference? Because
hmm
if back in the day, you use Big Show's character, bro's just bigger than everybody.
right. Well, you could probably you can still put height on the people.
Yeah, but I just think it would be so funny if like, because once again, it's been so long since I played a WWE wrestling game. If you had like Hornswoggle against my next player, LeBron, because you need another big heavyweight. He would obviously be like a 99 overall. His finisher would be a clothesline from hell, because back in the day, swatting shit off the glass. You know, back when he was in
Dude,
his prime.
I would love for him to be in the game because I would just beat the shit out of him with a chair the entire time. Like, so when I bought 2K24,
Hmm.
you know how when you install the game you can only play like a certain characters and stuff while it's
Yeah.
installing. Dude, I chose every single person against Cody Rhodes and just beat the shit out of him. And that's what I would do to LeBron, and I would just hit him with weapons and throw him off the Hell in the Cell and just whoop his freaking ass all day long.
Still creative.
Yeah, I guess. So the I'll stay in the sports realm.
Hmm.
Bob Probert, fucking legendary hockey brawler. He played for the Red Wings and he played for the Blackhawks. And in the mid '90s, the WWF at the time had a character called the Goon. This was before your time. He probably had like a 6 month run, but he was a hockey player. It was when they had the occupational gimmicks. So he would come out in just like hockey, like full hockey gear, and like even his boots looked like skates, and he had hockey gloves. So Bob Probert's kind of coming out the same way, but he's gonna wear a hockey sweater. I'm gonna call it a sweater instead of a jersey because all
That's
my
what it
hockey
is.
elite students will give me street cred. So a hockey sweater with the sleeves cut off,
More like
so it'll be like almost like a tank
ice
top.
cred. Would it be like ice cred, not street cred?
Yeah, ice cred. Yep, yep. Cold cred,
Cold cred is
frozen cred,
insane.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he comes out with the shirt, his sleeves off, with a stick and the gloves, and so his finisher is similar to like how Braun Breaker kind of runs the ropes. He'll
Hmm.
run the ropes really fast, whip his glove off into the crowd like simultaneously, like instead of like The Rock, how he pulled the thing off and threw it, like he kind of flings it off and it flies into the crowd and he just punches the dude going full speed.
I like it. It brings in, it brings in the part of hockey that a lot of people think is the best part, which are, like the fights.
Yep.
When you toss your gloves down, yeah. To stay, like you said, in the athletes, genre per se. Someone who has also done some stuff with the WWE, George Kittle.
George Kittle. Yep.
He's been, not saying that it's like documented, but he's been on certain podcasts and shows and interviews where big WWE fan, big wrestling fan. He's been damn near at like the last 3 Manias. He's been,
Yeah.
he's had some, not entering like work or anything, but he'll just be like around, to just
Yeah.
do gooberish stuff.
Yeah, it was like how Gronk was there,
Yeah.
he'll do a run in or something or get involved
Yeah.
with something. Yeah.
Funny
And he's a big dude.
Funny story about Gronk. I remember someone was interviewing Gronk or somebody from like the back, and it was when COVID was happening and the Super Bowl was supposed to be in Tampa, and Gronk was like supposed to do an appearance, and Mr. McMahon said, "All right, Gronk, you're gonna fall off this 2-story like little ledge thing," and Gronk was like, "I'm not fucking doing that," and Vince like, "Really? I'll fucking do it." And so Vince climbed his old ass up there and just took a bump from 2 stories down on on like the little safe pad. And I'm like, I will say one thing though about Vince, he's not gonna ask you to do something he's not gonna do.
Exactly. That was always his rep. So what's Kittle's finisher then? What do you got for him?
I got a choke slam. I was going to have kind of how you said, like just a run the rope spear, but he's an offensive player. He doesn't normally fucking spear. It could be that.
Is he tall enough to do a choke slam?
He's 6'5", 6'6".
Like how tall?
He's 6.
Okay.
I take
whenever
back.
I think of choke slam, I think of like almost like 7 foot. So
I was gonna say I take that back. He might be like 6'4.5", so just under. But it could be one of those like sit down choke slams where you'll drop all the way to your ass.
Like Damien.
Yeah, kinda.
The South of Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I could definitely see it. The next ones I have is actually a tag team. And it's probably everyone's favorite tag team. Probably similar to like the Dudleys. We got the Step Brothers. So we got Brennan and Dale. They obviously their chemistry is going to be amazing. They're going to be, know each other inside and out because, not only do they have the same non-pornographic magazine to jerk off to, the same size dick, the male crush is John Stamos, and their favorite dinosaur is a velociraptor, so they know each other inside and out. And that's what good chemistry. Like, look at the brothers, look at the Hardys, they're still going. Edge and Christian at one point were brothers. The Brothers of Destruction, the Dudleys. Brothers always work out good as a tag team, except when you have a Owen Hart situation and your brother turns on you. But anyway, they're gonna be my tag team. Their finisher is Will Ferrell, Brendan Huff. He's gonna put his opponent on his knee, and Dale's gonna come off the top rope with his Hulk hands and do an axe handle onto the guy while he's laid across Brendan's knee.
Smart.
Yep.
I mean, it makes sense with the brother dynamic, This is not a tag team. However, if they wanted to, I'm sure they can make it work. I had both Kelsey's, Travis and Jason.
They're everywhere anyway, so why not put them back in the WWE?
Yeah, and like when I was gonna say, I think it was last year. No, it was when the Super Bowl was in Philly. That it was I think it was Lane Johnson and Jason Kelsey actually went out there and they were tossing dudes out of the ring or whatever. And I want to say
40.
I want to say they had like lucha libre masks on.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And then
it was like no disguise. Like you're like, yeah, that's
yeah.
At least that's Jason Kelsey. I'm not sure who the other guy is, but yeah, that's Jason Kelsey.
You can't really hide that big ass beard that he's got.
Right, or belly, or
That big lumberjack looking beard.
Yeah.
And for the finishers, I had Jason Kelsey doing the torture rack. He's a little shorter, but he's big, strong, stocky. And then I had Travis Kelsey's I was gonna say flamboyant self doing a frog
Okay.
splash, because he could get on the top rope and do some crowd shit.
Yeah.
And once again, he's a
Do
bigger dude.
you have a finisher if they were a tag team? Like if they came in as a tag team, do they have a one finisher to finish off another team?
I just thought about it, and it would be damn near physically impossible. Jason could get, well, fuck it. Jason
It's a video
could,
game. It's a video game, so it is possible.
Jason could get him up in like the torture rack, and then Travis could do like a jumping, spinning, like swinging neck breaker, where he just jumps, does a front flip, grabs him, and then he just front flip over him. Fuck it, dude. It's a video game.
Yeah, definitely video game, and then it'll probably glitch out every time because the game won't know what the fuck is going on.
There's too much mass moving. The ring fucking breaks.
Yes. So I sticking with entertainment, Action Bronson. He's been involved with AEW a couple times. I know I don't know if Hook still has his song as his entrance music, but I think Action Bronson's already a fan. He kind of looks like a wrestler. He's a big dude, a bunch of tattoos, right? So, and obviously, like, you could have a great soundtrack with him on there, so he can come out to his own music and shit like that. But he would be doing either like a Yokozuna Banzai, like how Nia Jax does it, her Annihilator, or like a Vader bomb where he goes to the second rope and kind of the guy's laying down. Yeah, and he would do something like that because he's got to use his weight to his advantage.
Yeah. My next person, I had Kevin Hart, just because he's a entertainer. He would just be someone goofy that you could have 78 squash matches with.
Yeah, Black Tozawa.
Exactly. And he's good. He's good on the mic. He's entertaining. And his finisher would be a tadpole splash from the second turnbuckle, because obviously it can be a frog splash.
It should be from the first turnbuckle. Like, just really short. No one. I don't think anyone's ever done that.
And then there's the thing: everyone kicks out of it because you're not doing any damage from the first turnbuckle.
But every time someone kicks out, they like gorilla press him. Like, he just goes long.
Wasn't there a wrestler a couple of years ago that's what happened? He was just doing what he was pinning him, but he was only using laying on his upper body, and he kicked up and he just flung his ass out of the ring.
Well, I don't know what Macho Man was thinking in the 1993 Royal Rumble, but he tried to pin Yokozuna, and that's how Yokozuna won the match. He was for some reason Macho Man was pinning him, and he press slammed him, and he flew on top of the rope and flipped himself over.
It's so
funny. I'm like, why are you trying to pin in a Royal Rumble, bro? But anyway,
right.
I also have Nelson from The Simpsons. He's obviously a bully. He can be in a video game because he's not real and he's animated, and we can put him in there. His finisher, this is where we get creative, because Nelson, again, he's a bully and he likes hazing and embarrassing people. So what he does, and there might be, we might need some censorship, but he pulls people's pants down, right? And so, if they're wearing certain trunks, wrestling trunks, they might have to put like a blur mark, which I think would be kind of funny. So, a little blur mark comes up, but when the wrestler goes to pull his trunks back up, because he's got to bend over to pull his trunks up, Nelson hits him with a DDT.
Makes sense to
So
me.
that,
It's kind of like tying your
yeah,
shoelaces together before a race.
yeah, yep, and and it's a devastating DDT, like like Jake the Snake, and then he'll he can be like ha ha or whatever, or his
He
little
could
laugh.
have. It's all right to stay animated. I have someone from another popular video game. I got Hitachi from Street Fighter.
Okay,
Why?
that makes sense.
Just fucking because
Hey,
it's a
he's already
video.
fighting.
He's already fighting. I'm not saying we're gonna have fireballs, but
It's a video
however,
game.
it is a video game. I mean, maybe they could add that to the what was that one match Cena and Bray Wyatt were in a couple WrestleManias ago?
The Firefly Funhouse.
In the Firefly
Yeah,
Funhouse, they'd be throwing Hadoukas at each
yeah,
other.
yeah, dude.
What's even
It's
more
like Ren
funny,
Power Kid.
dude, for real. And as his finisher, it's the only submission move I on here. Submission finisher I have on my little list. In Street Fighter, what's one of his command grabs? Noogie. So he would just
Yeah,
grab your ass, put you right here, and just noogie you till you submit. Or he's really grinding your shit, and you just fucking go limp, and then the ref walks over and does like the three arms.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you start pumping back up like and Hulk up. Hell yeah.
That's a great idea.
So, next guy I have is Happy Gilmore. So, everyone knows Happy likes to fight. He is a hockey player turned golfer. Even the trophy, he wanted to put a little hockey guy on there. So, now when he becomes a wrestler, he wants his championship belt to be like a Stanley Cup. So he comes out with Stanley Cup when he's the champion.
Hmm.
But his finisher, which it's controversial because fans are like, oh man, shouldn't that be a disqualification?
Golf club.
We're not really sure. He takes the golf club, he puts him almost in a crippler crossface, and he has the golf club across his neck for a submission, and it's a chokehold. So people aren't happy, but the Nick Aldis and what's his name Adam Pierce, they allow it. They're like, hey, like he's an outsider. We got to make him feel welcome. He can
Yeah.
use his finisher,
The
called like Happy's Place or something.
ha- happy is flame. Now the last one that I have,
Or
it's
grandma,
huh?
grandma.
The la- the last person that I have. It's so funny to bring up Adam Sandler because I got Bobby Boucher,
Yeah,
and the
we could
promo
be a tag team.
they could be a tag team. Sound like a big tutu twin. And
Yeah,
I had H2O. I have his finisher as a spear, and it'd be called like H2O. And he does a Braun Breaker, just run the fucking ropes. Except he runs about 8 times, as opposed to
yeah,
Braun's 2, because Tutu Twin, and it just
yeah. He's
fucking
a little
spears the
slow.
shit out of him.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And he could do the Triple H,
The water
with
spit.
the water. Yeah, but then he probably wouldn't want to waste it though. So
Yeah,
he, yeah, dude. And then like he could have like Vicky Valancourt as his manager, right? And like when say Orton hits him with an RKO, she can give him the water from the glacier from Alaska, and he can
it,
rejuvenate him,
it'd be
and he
like
can
you'd be like Popeye and spinach.
yes, yes,
It,
100%, dude,
it's just under the ring.
100%. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And then you could eventually have another downloadable character of Roboito, his dad, and his dad
Yeah,
could come back and they could fight at Mania for the custody of his mom and the horse.
and the fucking horse. You know what's even more funny?
Um
I forgot Lawrence Taylor was in that movie.
yeah, the big thing is when that movie came out, it was like right after um Lawrence Taylor got caught with
I was about
cocaine,
to say the
and
cocaine
like
stuff.
he's in there saying like, kid, don't do drugs, and like like he literally got like busted with coke, like
It's
around the
so
same
funny.
time, and so like that was like a big thing. Um, so my next person
Mm.
or people, I have two more. So you said that was your last one.
Yeah,
My
I'm out.
last
Yeah.
two are I need, you need to spice up the women's division. And
Okay.
the only way, or the best way to spice up the women's division is to bring all five spices in and have some girl power in the women's evolution. And so we have the original five Spice Girls. They are the original girl power and women movement and great music. And so they would do like a New Day type thing. So they'd be a tag team, and you could pick any of the of the five,
Mm.
but the other three, you know that they would be ringside. And so not only would they be the women's tag team champions forever, but how are you going to stop them, because there's five of them and they're going to distract the ref and have a bunch of shenanigans. And they're just gonna dominate the women's division.
Mm.
As far as their finisher, I don't know. You could just pick one. They could sing you to death. I don't know.
Just
Um, you
they
know what they could do is like
good.
how in the Super Mario 3 you get the jukebox and like the
Yeah.
camels fall asleep or whatever. They can start singing and the opponent can fall asleep, and then
Mm.
they just roll them up and
Makes sense
win.
to me.
So, but the last person that I have is a downloadable character in the WWE game, and people, this might be another controversial pick, um, depending on what religion you are,
Oh God.
um, but it's Santa Claus. If you're Jewish, then you obviously don't get gifts from Santa.
One of my
So,
one of my boys' parents, they're Jehovah's Witnesses, and when he told me, he was like, "Yeah, we don't do birthdays, Christmas,
yeah,
none
that
of that
sucks.
shit." And
Way
I'm
to
like,
not have a life or a cool life. But anyway, um, so like that's gonna suck, especially as a kid, dude, because you don't celebrate like birthdays. So like if you
yeah,
get invited to a birthday, like your mom's not gonna let you go. Like get the fuck out of here, dude. Like
yeah.
let him be a kid. Um, fucking Jehovah. But so Santa, he comes down in his sleigh, right? And it's kind of like hovering, and then he probably uses like a rope ladder to get down,
Mm.
while it's hovering above the ring. But his finisher, dude, this is where things get cool. So how most of the time you taunt before you get your finisher. So
Mm.
um you see him start tapping his nose, right?
Don't tell me
And
it's
you're like,
light.
uh-oh,
Don't tell me it
you
turns
know you
on.
you know some kind of magic's happening now, right? So he's
Right.
tapping his nose, and like in his other hand, like a little present like appears,
Mm.
and he hands it to the referee, right? And the referee's like all surprised that he got a gift, right? So he's so excited that he turns his back to open the gift, so the ref's not looking. And this happens every time he does his finisher, because who
It's the
doesn't like a Christmas gift? Like you're so excited, and especially one that you're not expecting. So like
right.
the ref's like, oh my god, you got me a gift, like, and it just appeared in your hand, like after you just tapped your nose. So then he Santa, like like the ref's opening up his gift, and the opponent's actually trying to like look over the ref's shoulder, like to see what it is, because like when
He's fucking
there's a group of
intrigued.
people
Yeah.
in a room, like a white elephant or a gift exchange or anything, like people are like, oh, what'd you get, right?
Yeah.
Especially from Santa, like the real
From the
Santa.
horse's mouth.
What?
From the horse's mouth.
Exactly, straight up from the North Pole, dude.
Right.
So while his opponent is trying to look over his shoulder, Santa's getting his gear ready, dude, and he's got his sack, his sack of toys, and he's waiting, and the opponent turns around and he fucking Barry Bonds his ass with
Yo.
his sack of toys, and he's just laid out knocked out, and they're like, you never kick out of it because you have no idea what's in that sack. And so he hits him with the sack. He is laid out, and the ref's still like taking his sweet ass time. Like like those people that like try to almost preserve the fucking paper.
Yeah.
So that's what he's doing. Like he's taking his time, sweet ass time opening this gift, and everyone else is like, "Come on, just rip the goddamn paper open, so let me see what you frickin' Santa got you." So he's taking his time. So after fucking Santa hits a grand slam on your ass, and in Game 7, and you're laid out. So the bag, he opens up the bag and he just starts throwing random gifts into the crowd, and like it's always different. Like like sometimes like he'll pull out like a train, or a PS5, or a brick, or a hammer. Like anything hard, and like sometimes it could be funny, like it could be like a fucking Volkswagen, and fucking he just tosses it into the crowd,
a
and
giant bike just fucking
people.
huck.
Yeah, that's what you get it.
Yeah, I
and
get the
so
gist.
and then he puts the bag down when the ref finally opens his gift, right? And it's like
Coal.
like no, it's like a like like something real, like super, like gold or something. Like oh my god, like a fucking watch or something, like something sweet. And then he so he then pins the guy, right? And this is, of course, once you get hit by a fucking Santa sack, you're out. So the match ends, the ref turns around, counts to 3, match ends. Fucking Santa then goes and pulls a Vince McMahon, or an alleged Vince McMahon, and he squats over his opponent and he shits on him. But shit doesn't come out. That's when the coal comes out, and so his opponent just is buried with coal after the match.
If I'm being honest,
and then he gets back in his sleigh and flies away.
I'm being honest. When you said the ref turns around, I'm like, here comes the giant candy cane. Whack! Yo.
Yeah.
And then when you said his giant sack, I was like, could it be like when Jake the Snake had Damien just carrying around his giant fucking...
Yes, that's how it is, man. That's how it is.
That'd be so funny.
And then he shits coal on him.
Hey, it's a video game. Fuck it, dude. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I mean... But that's it, man. That's all of our downloadable characters. I think we'd have a pretty cool squad. I mean, these guys are kind of living up to the hype of the 64-bit Legends wrestlers. But unfortunately, I mean, I would love for WWE to put Nunman in a downloadable, and you play storyline, and like all of a sudden the lights go out and you hear, "Hello, gentlemen." And like his fucking face appears on the Titantron, and him and he comes from the nunnery with all the goons and shit. Dude, insane.
Could you see in the future there be a collab or no?
Dude, me and my buddies keep saying like it's funny, dude. Like, cause like back when myself and Melvin Troy lived together, my buddy Sam would come over almost every Monday night to watch Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would like, a lot of times we would just fucking like bullshit and like, oh, they should do this, and it would be like the stupidest shit ever, right? And dude, there's been plenty of times where we've said something and it actually happens, and we're like, dude, like, is this place bugged? And so I wouldn't be surprised if Vince McMahon had my old house bugged, and Triple H now has Melvin Troy's house bugged, so that they can get ideas from us. Because like for example, like the you remember when Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho were a tag team?
Yeah, and they were best friends.
They were getting together and shit, and so my buddy goes, he goes, what do you think they're gonna call this tag team? And he's like trying to think of a name, and I'm like, dude, they're just gonna call them Kevin and Chris. Like, let's just be honest, dude. And that's what they fucking went with. They just called them Kevin and Chris.
Dude,
and I was like, I told you.
Fucking, that was the time, around the time when he had the list Dude,
Yes.
the
It was
list
so
was
funny.
so over for no reason.
I know.
He was
The
doing a
dumbest shit ever,
he
dude.
was doing an interview with CVV Chris Van Vliet a couple months ago, and they were talking about stuff you thought was awesome that just didn't go over, or something that you didn't expect to
Mhm.
go over. He said, "Dude, I thought the list was fucking stupid. I thought it was the dumbest thing. There's no way it's gonna go over." I remember, I think it was before like a Survivor Series on Most Raw versus SmackDown, and there
Yeah.
and fucking
Yeah.
he called
On the ring.
yeah, they're all in the ring, and then he said, "You know what happens in the big leagues here on Raw?" And he fucking clicks the pin. You just made the list. He's talking to AJ Styles. He said, "Oh, and that stupid soccer mom hairstyle you got, I don't like it." So stupid
Dude,
soccer mom's
imagine-
hair. You just made the list, and then he fucking says, then he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is that?" And it's James Ellsworth because the camera turns. He he said, will someone's parents come get their lost child here at ringside?" He said, hey you over there, you. Then nods his head for no fucking reason because Chris Jericho said,
Right.
you're a pretty weird looking guy. You know that? You know what happens to weird looking guys here on Raw? He said, you know what happens? Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Calling him Vince McMahon is so wild. But yeah, because he just made the list, and the crowd is fucking eating out of his
I know.
hand.
Too funny, dude.
Dude,
Too funny.
there were so many gimmicks that I thought that shit was the dumbest shit ever, and it gets the like. I remember in 2012 when Fandango came out, I'm like, this dude is the
Oh,
dumbest shit ever.
dude. Melvin Troy, like I said, dude, he doesn't watch every week. Like
Yeah.
he'll watch the Rumble, he'll watch Mania with us, and basically that's pretty much it. Like he'll like we might go to his house and watch main event on Saturday and do some podcast stuff as well.
Hmm.
But he'll tune in every once in a while. Dude, he loved Fandango. He's like, dude, this is the greatest shit. Cause like he would come out and not wrestle and be like, you didn't say
The whole fucking crowd would be doing
dude.
this stupid shit.
Yes. And he was like, this is awesome. He's and like so like if you asked him like his top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time, it would be like Vince McMahon's #1.
Right.
And yes, like like and then Fandango might be like #2 or 3 because it will probably be Stone Cold Fandango.
That's so funny.
Then it'll probably be I'm trying to get trying to think of who else. Pillman. He always brings up the
Brian
Pillman era.
Pillman.
He fucking pulled out a gun.
He's got. I think it's Kevin Nash at the time. He's got a gun that just fucking nips in the back. The another group faction, whatever. They were so over, and I thought they were the dumbest gimmick ever. Big Cass, Enzo Amore, like that. Once again, the early 2010s, dude.
Yeah.
Those fuckers were so over. I remember there was one time their mics they either didn't have mics or they weren't working or whatever, so they cut a promo with no mic, and the crowd is once again eating out of their fucking hands, reciting their whole promo format as they're doing it, and I'm like, that's when that's when you know.
Yeah, but that shit definitely got to Enzo's head, man. Like he went off fucking deep end, man.
Right after that was when I kind of stopped watching wrestling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember seeing like shit of he got fired, kept showing up. They had to keep kicking him out. He kept buying tickets and they kept declining him at the gate and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yo, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
For someone who, once again, bro was crazy over.
Right. And you know he wasn't the best like worker, but like yeah, he could fucking talk, dude. He could promo. If they would have put him with the right guy, like like he was cool with Cass as a tag team, but like if he would have just been a manager for someone, like you know, for like a Bobby Lashley or something, like.
I remember one of like their first couple appearances, back when the Dudleys were like on like their tail end. They came out and called him like. I think Enzo said, Devon, if you're lazy, I could sit still for a minute. And just for shitting on the Dudleys, I think he called Bubba like a doofus or something stupid, and the crowd was eating that shit up.
Oh man, well I hope you guys ate this shit up as far as this episode. Um, you eat pieces of shit like for breakfast? You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? Anyway, um, but if you'd like some daily content, go to newleafnews.com.network or .network. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content there. Check us out. You know, obviously, if you're checking us out right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, or X, Facebook at New Leaf News. Like I said, we have daily content. We're expanding by the day. We have 5 great writers, a great team over there. Um, Check out my podcast. Newest episode should be dropping any day now. At 64-bit Legends, you can check us out anywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, whatever. YouTube podcasts, I think that's a thing now. Um, I'm at Bobby Kaboose, both on X and Instagram. Again, check out my articles. I try to write about different things. Wrote a Macho Man article last night that I have to go promote for myself. If you can't check us out live, you know, check us out on YouTube when you can. At Lawson 1_1226, right? That
Mhm.
again, that's his birthday. You got about 7 months. 7 months to get him something. So, you know, he's got a huge Amazon wish list. Just start buying shit. Like, start now. Like, you know, let's try to fulfill that wish list by the 26th. Hey, even if you want to just give him a Christmas gift, just say it's from both. That's what I'm going to do. That's probably what he's used to his whole life. Um, but check
That's
him out
funny.
as well on Instagram, on X. He's got some great betting articles and a lot of sports related shit. I don't know if there's anything else. Is there anything else?
I think that basically covered everything. Oh, game one of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. Speaking of Tyrese Halliburton, the Garden's gonna be rocking, and I'm excited. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, all right. And oh, yeah, we are live, you know, Wednesday or Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 7:30 Eastern time in the morning. So, you know, get yourself a big bowl of cereal. Again, don't put milk in it because that's fucking disgusting. Just eat it dry. Be an adult. You don't have to fucking dip your shit in, make it soggy, and have floating things in your milk and drink that warm shit after. That's fucking gross. Just eat your fucking cereal, have a glass of water, or drink some milk on the side, or a coffee, or whatever your fucking vice is for the morning. Just do that. Don't have soggy cereal.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
and make sure if you're having bacon, make sure it's flimsy. None of that crispy shit where you fucking eat it and it just falls apart in your mouth. That's gross too. But anyway, have your breakfast. Enjoy our show. Lawson, if you want to take us out, we'll see you guys Friday.
As always, for New Leaf News and the Legends Clubhouse, I'm Lawson Turner. That's Bobby Caboose. Once again, check us out on all of our socials, and we will see you beautiful people on Friday morning, once again at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, until next time, we will see you guys later. Peace.